Chapter 3588. The long spear in Lu Ming's hand was a supreme-grade divine weapon. When it was shaken by Lu Ming's divine power, it exploded and turned into fragments that flew in all directions toward the square-faced man in red armor. Sizzle! Sizzle! The pieces of the spear pierced through the air, creating a terrifying sound. Each piece turned into a spear light and pierced towards the armored men. Not good. Block it. Ugh. Roars and screams were heard. The armored men could not block the spear light. Their attacks and defenses were destroyed the moment they came into contact with the spear light. Then, their bodies were pierced through by the spear light. The destructive power tore their bodies apart and destroyed their souls. Bang! Bang! The armored men's corpses fell heavily on the ground, creating loud booms. The dozens of blood-armored men were wiped out in an instant. Only one of them was still alive. It was the square-faced man. That man was indeed in the seventh king god realm. He used his powerful strength to block Lu Ming's attack. However, he was still sent flying 100 meters away. Blood spurted out of his mouth and his arm almost exploded. At this moment, the place was dead silent. Time and space seemed to have frozen. Everyone felt as if their hearts were about to explode. Their minds were about to stop. What had they just seen? Dozens of powerful blood-armored men were killed in an instant. What kind of strength was this? They were dreaming. They must be dreaming. He Chuan and He Ti screamed in their hearts. They could not believe what had just happened. Slap. He Chuan slapped himself hard to see if he was dreaming. However, he almost fainted from the slap. You're strong. However, it's not enough. Lu Ming looked at the square-faced burly man. He stepped into the air and clenched his fist in the air. The hegemon spear condensed in his forehead and a powerful aura pressed toward the square-faced burly man. The square-faced man's complexion changed drastically, becoming deathly pale without a trace of blood. Lu Ming's strength was already terrifying. However, it was even more terrifying now. He was no match for such strength. He would die here. I am a protector of Blood Dragon Hall. You can't kill me. The square-faced man roared. Unfortunately, Lu Ming did not buy it at all. He said coldly, Blood Dragon Hall? Never heard of it. The Blood Dragon Hall has an expert of the 9th Godly King layer. Even though you're strong, you're not a match for a 9th Godly King layer expert. If you kill me, the Blood Dragon Hall won't let you off. The square-faced man still wanted to use the Blood Dragon Hall to suppress Lu Ming. He roared as he retreated. His words caused the expressions of Feng Zhou and the others to change drastically. The Blood Dragon Hall had an expert of the 9th King God layer. It should be noted that in the past 100 years since the mother planet of the Dragon Clan had been revived, the cultivation of the cultivators on the mother planet of the Dragon Clan had skyrocketed at an astonishing speed. However, as far as they knew, the strongest person on the Dragon Clan's mother planet was only in the 9th layer of the Divine King realm. Of course, the people from the outer world were excluded. The Blood Dragon Hall had a 9th layer King God realm expert. They were already a top force on the dragon race's mother planet. It was actually such a powerful force that had set their eyes on the Black Dragon family. You talk too much. Lu Ming's expression did not change. He stepped on the void and closed in on the square-faced man. The tyrant god's spear shook and turned into a dazzling spear radiance as it pierced towards the square-faced man. Lu Ming had activated a trace of the primordial divine dragon blood. A layer of dragon scales appeared on his body, making him look even more like a native of the Dragon Clan's mother planet. After activating a trace of the primordial divine dragon blood, Lu Ming's strength was even stronger. The spear was almost unstoppable. The square-faced man roared and activated all of his strength. His divine power burned like flames as he held a giant hammer in his hand and struck it out. Boom! The heavens and earth shook violently as the giant hammer and the tyrant god's spear clashed together, creating huge waves that swept out in all directions. In the next moment, the giant hammer shook violently and shattered into pieces with a crack. The tyrant god's spear did not stop there. In a flash, it pierced through the square-faced man's forehead and stabbed him in the air. Plop! At this moment, He Chuan and He Ti's bodies went limp and they fell to the ground. They looked at Lu Ming with pale faces and despair. Bang! Lu Ming landed in front of He Ti and He Chuan. His eyes were cold and his killing intent was as cold as a blade. Hojo, let us go. I beg you, second uncle, please. Once again, Black Titanium begged Quang Zhou for mercy, with tears and snot. But this time, Hojo's expression was cold and unmoved. You also begged me for mercy before. Originally, I was already soft-hearted, but when the Blood Dragon Hall came, you immediately turned against me and wanted to borrow their strength to kill me. Huh, now you want me to spare you? Do you think I'm an idiot? Hojo sneered. He was extremely disgusted with He Ti and He Chuan. Don't kill me. I was wrong, I was really wrong. He Ti screamed, filled with regret. If he had known that Lu Ming was so strong, he would not have joined the Blood Dragon Hall when they came. I remember you saying that you don't even know how to write the word regret? What? You know now? Lu Ming said indifferently. He Ti's old face turned red. At this time, Lu Ming's spear shook, and two spear lights shot out, piercing He Ti and He Chuan's dantian and crippling their star cores. The two of them screamed miserably, filled with despair. Hojo, I'll leave them to you. Lu Ming looked at Hojo. Hojo silently nodded and stepped forward. His divine power condensed into a saber. No, no. He Ti and He Chuan screamed and begged for mercy, but this time, Hojo was unmoved. The saber light swept out, and blood splattered everywhere. Two heads flew out. Plop. At this time, a few more people knelt down. They were the elders of the Elder Hall who had joined He Ti. Young Lord, we were also bewitched by He Ti. Please forgive us. Yes, young Lord, please forgive us. We will definitely be loyal to you in the future. Moreover, the Blood Dragon Hall will not let us go. The He Long family is in need of people. Several elders spoke in succession. They were all elders who had joined He Ti before. Moreover, after the Blood Dragon Hall had arrived, they had immediately joined them. Now, although they were begging for mercy, they were secretly threatening Peng Prefecture. The Blood Dragon Hall was about to arrive, and the He Long family needed them. Hojo's face turned gloomy as he pondered. The He Long family had suffered heavy losses due to the internal strife. Lu Ming had crippled 4 elders, and He Ti was already dead. If he had to kill these elders, the He Long family's strength would be incomparably weak. Quality is more important than quantity. What's the use of keeping these people? When the Blood Dragon Hall arrives, they might immediately betray us. At that time, they won't be of help, but enemies. Lu Ming said indifferently. Chapter 3589. Lu Ming's words caused the expressions of the Black Dragon family's elders to change. Why you? The elders pointed at Lu Ming, cursing Lu Ming 10,000 times in their hearts. However, they didn't dare to say it out loud. What a joke. If they angered Lu Ming, they wouldn't have any chance. Lu Ming, you're right. The 3 of you pledged allegiance to the Blood Dragon Hall and can't be kept alive. As for the other 2, they didn't pledge allegiance to the Blood Dragon Hall earlier. Quan Zhou finally made his decision. As soon as Feng Zhou said that, the 3 elders roared furiously and charged towards Feng Zhou. They were very decisive. When Quan Zhou said that he wouldn't let them off, they directly attacked. They wanted to take Quan Zhou as a hostage and escape. However, their every move was completely under Lu Ming's control. As soon as they moved, Lu Ming moved as well. 3 beams of spear gleams shot out and nailed the 3 elders to the ground. Quan Zhou paled slightly. Lu Ming shook his head inwardly. Quan Zhou's character was still too indecisive. If he didn't change, he would suffer a great loss sooner or later. However, he didn't deliberately remind him. Quan Zhou had saved his life. He had helped Quan Zhou recover the dragon vein and quelled the rebellion. He had already returned the favor. How far Quan Zhou could go in the future would be up to him. After all, Lu Ming couldn't stay in the Black Dragon family's home planet forever. His main purpose here was to find Xian Yanqing and Autumn Moon. At the same time, he could borrow the strength of the Black Dragon family's home planet to raise his cultivation base. He would have to leave sooner or later. Many thanks to the young master for not killing us. The other two elders who hadn't joined the Blood Dragon Hall let out a long sigh and cupped their fists toward Quan Zhou and Lu Ming. I'll spare your lives. I hope you won't disappoint me. Quan Zhou's gaze was cold. The two elders' hearts trembled. They bowed and said, "We are willing to swear on our life essence that we will be loyal to the young master in the future." Only then did Quan Zhou's expression improve. "Young master, what should we do with them?" An elder who had been on Feng Zhou's side asked. He was referring to the 4 elders whose dragon veins had been destroyed by Lu Ming. "Kill them all," Feng Zhou ordered with a cold face. Amidst the screams and pleas for mercy, an elder attacked and killed the 4 elders. In this battle, 7 out of the 12 elders of the Black Dragon clan had died. It could be said that the loss was disastrous. "Lu Ming, thank you." Feng Zhou walked over and solemnly cupped his hands to Lu Ming to express his gratitude. In fact, he was still extremely shocked. He had never expected that when he saved Lu Ming, he would actually save a great expert. "It's nothing. However, we have to be on guard against the Blood Dragon Hall. With so many of their people dead, they definitely won't let this matter rest. They'll definitely come for revenge," Lu Ming reminded. "If the Blood Dragon Hall comes, we'll just fight to the death." Quan Zhou gritted his teeth. "There's no need to fight to the death. My cultivation hasn't fully recovered. If my cultivation recovers a little more, even a 9th-layer Divine King won't be a problem." Lu Ming paused for a moment and said, "I heard that there are great opportunities and treasures in the Black Dragon Valley. If I can cultivate in the Black Dragon Valley, I might be able to recover quickly." He was indeed curious about the Black Dragon Valley. With the revival of the Dragon Clan's mother planet, the cultivation environment had become shockingly good. What kind of opportunities would there be in the ruins left behind by the Dragon Clan's powerful forces? It was indeed worth looking forward to. "All right, if Brother Lu wants to enter the Black Dragon Valley, we'll go in immediately." Out of Lu Ming's expectation, Feng Zhou nodded without any hesitation. Then, Feng Zhou called a group of people to clean up the scene. He then asked the Black Dragon clan to be on guard and inform him immediately if anything happened. After that, he led Lu Ming and the 3 elders to the back of the Black Dragon clan. Behind the Black Dragon clan, there was a continuous stretch of mountains. One after another, they were incomparably majestic, towering into the clouds. Soon, the 3 of them arrived in front of a valley. "This is the Black Dragon Valley, but there are restrictions here that haven't dissipated yet. We need the Black Dragon token to open it. Moreover, there are dragon beasts inside, so be careful when you go in," Feng Zhou said. Lu Ming nodded. Then, Feng Zhou took out a jade talisman with a lifelike black divine dragon coiled around it. This was the Black Dragon token. After inputting the divine dragon, the Black Dragon token lit up and let out a dragon roar. Then, a black divine dragon flew out from the Black Dragon token. The black dragon flew out of the valley and circled around it. A light screen appeared at the entrance of the valley. At this time, the light screen opened up a gap. "The restriction is open, let's go," Feng Zhou said. His body moved and rushed into the valley. Lu Ming and the 3 elders also rushed into the valley. So big? As soon as they rushed into the valley, Lu Ming felt that the valley in front of him was rapidly expanding. Previously, the valley was about 1,000 meters wide. But now, the valley had become tens of thousands of miles wide, like a continent. There were all kinds of plants growing in the valley. They were huge and full of vitality. What dense divine qi! Lu Ming took a deep breath and felt that the air was filled with extremely dense divine qi. Outside, the divine qi was dense enough, but compared to the Black Dragon Valley, it was much weaker. Separated by a restriction, it was a completely different world. Lu Ming involuntarily circulated the universe myriad Tao scripture. Instantly, the divine qi from all directions rushed into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming refined it and turned it into his divine power. Then, the divine power flowed into the star core in Lu Ming's dantian and repaired the cracks on it. Boom! In just a dozen breaths, a powerful aura spread out from Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's cultivation base had recovered to the 4th layer of King God realm. "I thought that I would need 2 years to recover to my peak, but here, I don't need 2 years. Is this a ruin left behind by the divine dragon tribe? I just came in, but it's already so amazing. Lu Ming's eyes shone brightly. Brother Lu. Feng Zhou and the 3 elders looked at Lu Ming in surprise. I just recovered some of my cultivation base. Come, let's go inside. Lu Ming said. Now, he was looking forward to it. He had learned from Feng Zhou that 100 years ago, before the Dragon Tribe's mother planet had recovered, the Black Dragon Tribe's people were not allowed to enter the Black Dragon Valley, even if they had the Black Dragon token. Until the Dragon Tribe's mother planet recovered 100 years ago, they could use the Black Dragon token to enter the Black Dragon Valley. As soon as they entered the Black Dragon Valley, they obtained many amazing divine herbs. With these divine herbs, the Black Dragon Valley's people's cultivation base advanced by leaps and bounds. Therefore, Lu Ming speculated that before the Dragon Tribe's mother planet recovered and dried up, the Black Dragon Valley was not dried up. It was a cultivation holy land with extremely dense divine qi. It was just blocked by a restriction. So, after so many years, how many treasures and divine herbs had been produced in the Black Dragon Valley? Chapter 3590. The outside world was desolate, but inside the Black Dragon Valley, there was always a rich divine aura. After so many years, the opportunities here were definitely astonishing. The 3 of them walked deeper into the Black Dragon Valley. The Black Dragon Valley was huge. It didn't look like a valley at all. It was like a world. We've explored the area in front of the Black Dragon Valley. We've harvested the divine herbs. There's nothing left. If we want to get more divine herbs, we have to go deeper. Ho Zhou explained. Lu Ming nodded. No wonder they hadn't seen anything after walking for a while. Inside the Black Dragon Valley, there was a rich divine aura that had been nurtured all year round. Even the plants were filled with endless vitality and grew incomparably strong. A stalk of grass was often taller than a person. Rustle, 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 rustle. Suddenly, rustling sounds came from the bushes. They were moving at a fast speed. Be careful. It's a dragon. Ho Zhou said. As soon as he said that, 9 huge creatures pounced on Lu Ming. A strong wind blew, and the smell of blood assaulted their nostrils. It was a huge snake, more than 10 meters long. It was covered in scales and had dragon horns on its head. However, there were no dragon claws on its abdomen. It didn't look like a flood dragon. A flood dragon looked like a divine dragon. Moreover, it had 4 dragon claws on its abdomen. This was obviously a huge snake with dragon horns on its head. Dragon. A dragon in the first heaven of the king god realm. However, this realm was nothing in Lu Ming's hands. Lu Ming's finger was like a spear. When he pointed it out, a beam of spear gleam burst forth and directly pierced through the head of the python. Rustle, 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 rustle. However, there were more sounds in the surroundings. Then, one by one, they pounced on Lu Ming and the group from all directions and charged toward them. However, these snakes were all in the first heaven of the king god realm. They weren't a threat. Ho Zhou and He Yu attacked. Divine light shot out and killed the snakes one by one. Soon, more than a dozen corpses of the snakes appeared on the ground. The scene quieted down. In the Black Dragon Valley, the weakest dragon is in the first heaven of the king god realm. The deeper we go, the stronger the dragon is. Ho Zhou explained. Lu Ming nodded. They continued their journey. Then more and more dragons attacked them. When they entered this place, they would be sensed by the dragon beast. The dragon beast would attack them crazily for some reason. Soon, they had traveled over 100,000 kilometers. With a loud roar, the earth shook and a huge lion-like dragon beast appeared in front of them. This dragon beast was 10 meters tall and looked like a lion. However, its entire body was covered in scales. Dracolian beast. It was this Dracolian beast that injured me. Qi Zhou's eyes gleamed with killing intent. Lu Ming observed the draconic lion beast. It had the cultivation base of the 4th king god layer. It was very strong. Feng Zhou had only the 3rd king god layer, so he wasn't a match for it. Young master, I'll kill him. An elder said loudly. There's no need. Leave it to me. You guys keep watch for me. Peng Zhou waved his hand and stopped the elder. Young master, but you, several elders were worried. Don't worry. Last time, I was accidentally injured by this Dracolian beast because I was trying to save He Chuan. Moreover, after recovering, my cultivation has improved again. Dealing with this Dracolian beast won't be a problem, Peng Zhou said confidently. He was a prodigy, and his combat strength was not something an ordinary person could compare to. Although the Dracolian beast was one level higher than him, he was not afraid. Last time, he was only distracted because he was saving He Chuan. That was why the Dracolian beast had destroyed his dragon vein. Now that he encountered it again, he wanted to take revenge himself. Lu Ming stood aside and said nothing. This Dracolian beast had become Peng Zhou's inner demon. If he could kill it, it would be very helpful to his cultivation. At this moment, the Dracolian beast roared and ran towards them. The ground rumbled as it stomped on the ground. It was terrifying. Peng Zhou's eyes were filled with killing intent as a dragon spear appeared in his hand. Many dragon men used spears as their weapon. Feng Zhou stomped on the ground and shot out toward the Dracolian beast, engaging it in close combat with the beast. The Dracolian beast was very strong. Ordinary cultivators in the fourth layer of the King God realm were no match for it. However, Peng Zhou's strength was also shocking. He could fight with a higher level. With his cultivation in the third layer of the King God realm, it was hard to tell who would win. Time passed slowly. In the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. Peng Zhou and the Dracolian beast had exchanged hundreds of blows. At this point, both the Dracolian beast and Peng Zhou were injured and covered in blood. At this moment, the Dracolian beast was finally afraid. It roared and ran away. Where are you going? Peng Zhou was also injured, but his fighting spirit was getting stronger. It was as if it was about to turn into stone. He shot towards the Dracolian beast like an arrow. Bastard, get the hell back! An elder appeared in front of the Dracolian beast. He waved his hand and forced the Dracolian beast to retreat. These elders were all in the fifth layer of the King God realm. It was easy for them to stop the Dracolian beast. The Dracolian beast was forced to retreat. Peng Zhou had arrived, so the Dracolian beast could only continue fighting. However, the Dracolian beast's morale was low. Peng Zhou was getting stronger and stronger. He was starting to gain the upper hand. Peng Zhou is going to win. Lu Ming nodded. The outcome of the battle was clear. As expected, the two sides exchanged hundreds of blows. In the end, Peng Zhou was stronger. He stabbed his spear into the Dracolian beast's head and killed it. Peng Zhou panted heavily, but his eyes were bright. The next moment, Peng Zhou sat down cross-legged. Then, from all directions, an extremely dense divine aura gathered towards him. He's about to break through. Lu Ming was surprised, but he quickly understood. Peng Zhou's cultivation had been at the peak of the third layer of the King God realm. He had broken through, and now that he had killed the Dracolian beast and gotten rid of his heart demon, he had finally broken through. At the same time, Lu Ming sighed. This was also related to the environment of the Dragon Clan's mother planet. Outside, even if he had the same opportunity, he might not be able to break through. The main reason was that the environment of the Dragon Clan's mother planet was too good. Endless divine aura gathered towards Peng Zhou from all directions, turning into Peng Zhou's divine power. His aura was getting stronger and stronger. In just a few hours, Peng Zhou's body emitted a powerful aura. His cultivation had entered the fourth layer of the King God realm. Moreover, the injuries he had received from the fight with the Dracolian beast were all healed. He was in peak condition. Peng Zhou stood up, his eyes shining brightly. Peng Zhou, congratulations. Lu Ming walked over with a smile. Compared to Brother Lu, I'm still far behind. Let's continue. If we continue, we'll reach a place we haven't explored yet. The strength of the Dracolian beasts will also increase. Peng Zhou said. However, Lu Ming's strength was unfathomable. Peng Zhou and the others were not worried. They continued their journey. As expected, the Dracolian beasts that appeared next were all at least in the fourth layer of the King God realm. Some of them even came in groups. Peng Zhou and the three elders felt a great pressure. Chapter 3591. Pang Zhou and the three elders felt pressured by the group of dragon beasts. However, with Lu Ming around, it was not a problem. When Lu Ming attacked, no matter if they were in the fourth or fifth layer of the King God realm, they were all killed instantly. There's a pressure between heaven and earth. It's amazing. Lu Ming frowned. He could feel a strong pressure pressing down on him between heaven and earth. The deeper they went into the Black Dragon Valley, the stronger the pressure. Soon they had traveled a distance. What a strong medicinal fragrance. That's the golden scale fruit. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. There was a half-meter tall tree in front of them. It was verdant and there were 3 golden fruits growing on it. Lu Ming recognized that it was the golden scale fruit. There were also golden scale fruits outside. However, the medicinal fragrance of the ordinary golden scale fruits could not be compared to the 3 golden scale fruits. The 3 golden scale fruits had a strong medicinal fragrance and strong vitality. It was dozens of times stronger than the ordinary golden scale fruits. Even though they were far away, Lu Ming could feel the rich vitality. This is the limit of our exploration, Pang Zhou said. The divine herbs and treasures that they had explored were all taken away. From here on, they had not explored any further. Naturally, there were many divine herbs. Lu Ming stepped forward and walked towards the golden scale fruits. With a roar, a huge golden dragon rushed out and pounced on Lu Ming. It was a 5th layer King God Realm dragon beast. It was strong, but Lu Ming did not take it seriously. He waved his hand and a spear light shot out, killing the dragon beast. Then, Lu Ming picked a golden scale fruit. What a strong vitality. Refining this golden scale fruit will be of great help to my injuries. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He swallowed the golden scaled fruit and began to refine it. Lu Ming did not let the measure character art refine it. This kind of divine medicine was extremely pure, and there was no need for the measure character art to refine it. His refining speed was also very fast, and there was a benefit to refining it himself, which was that he could heal faster. As soon as the golden scaled fruit entered his mouth, it turned into surging life energy that surged into Lu Ming's limbs and bones. It then slowly gathered towards the 11 star cores, nourishing Lu Ming's star cores. Some small cracks on the star core were slowly healing. In fact, Lu Ming's large amount of divine power was still stored in the quantifying character formula. But this divine power was of no help to Lu Ming's recuperation. This divine strength was Lu Ming's divine strength at the Divine Lord realm, boundless and formidable. If Lu Ming were to use this divine strength to heal himself, then before he could even heal himself, he would instead be struck by the impact of this boundless divine strength. The powerful divine power entering the star core would probably cause the cracks in the star core to widen. Therefore, Lu Ming did not use this divine power to heal himself. The life energy in the golden scaled fruit was extremely rich, and Lu Ming's refining speed was very fast. In less than an hour, the entire golden scaled fruit was completely refined, and Lu Ming's injuries were a little better. Then, Lu Ming picked the second golden scaled fruit and swallowed it, continuing to refine it. Seeing Lu Ming refining the golden scaled fruit, Feng Zhou and the 3 elders stood guard in all directions, protecting Lu Ming. In fact, there was no need for them to protect him. Although Lu Ming was refining the golden scaled fruit, he did not wholeheartedly refine it. He divided a part of his mind to pay attention to his surroundings. If a dragon beast attacked him, he could launch a thunderous attack in an instant. Another hour later, Lu Ming continued to refine the 3rd fruit. Boom! When the 3rd golden scaled fruit was refined, a rumbling sound came from Lu Ming's body, and a powerful aura spread out. 5th layer God King Realm. After refining 3 golden scaled fruits, Lu Ming's injuries were healed, and his cultivation base was restored to the 5th layer God King Realm. Feng Zhou and the others were dumbfounded. Was it so easy to make a breakthrough in cultivation base? He had only refined 3 golden scaled fruits, and he had broken through? Although the energy contained in the divine herbs here was shocking, it was impossible for them to make a breakthrough so easily. If it was so easy, their cultivation bases would have already soared to the heavens. I'm just recovering from my injuries. My previous cultivation base was far above the 5th layer God-King realm. Seeing Feng Zhou and the others' expressions, Lu Ming explained. Because his cultivation base would continue to recover, he didn't want Feng Zhou and the others to be too shocked. Feng Zhou and the others nodded, and they continued onward. As expected, the Black Dragon family had not explored the next area, and the number of divine herbs increased. On the way, they constantly found divine herbs. Lu Ming took half of the divine herbs, while Feng Zhou and the others shared the other half. After all, the dragon beasts were already very strong, and Feng Zhou and the others could no longer resist them. They could only rely on Lu Ming to kill the dragon beasts, so Lu Ming took half of the divine herbs. Lu Ming didn't hold back. The divine herbs here were really amazing, and they were extremely useful for his recovery. Now wasn't the time to hold back. Moreover, these divine herbs would be very useful even if his cultivation base was restored to its peak. It could increase his cultivation base rapidly. Lu Ming took out a dragon-shaped ginseng as thick as an arm and swallowed it in one gulp. He refined it as he moved forward. Although the refining speed would slow down a lot, it wouldn't waste any time. Soon, they had traveled another 100,000 li. Lu Ming's storage ring was filled with more than 100 different divine herbs, each of them shockingly effective. Some of the divine herbs were unique to this place, and some of them could be found outside, but their efficacy was far inferior to the ones here. Every stalk of divine medicine was priceless when taken out. Brother Lu, it's difficult for us to continue. Feng Zhou sighed as they reached this place. The dragon beasts here were already very strong, and there were even dragon beasts above the 7th layer of the King God realm. Even with Lu Ming's protection, Feng Zhou and the others found it difficult to move forward. Brother Lu, if you want to continue exploring, we'll stay here and you can continue. What do you think? Feng Zhou asked. To be honest, Feng Zhou also wanted to know what was in the depths of the Black Dragon Valley, and what the situation was like. Alright, I'll send you to a safe area, and then I'll go in to take a look. Lu Ming nodded. Then they retreated. Lu Ming sent Feng Zhou and the others to a safe place, and then he continued to move deeper into the Black Dragon Valley. Without Feng Zhou and the others, he could move much faster on his own. He didn't want to fight, so he took any divine herbs he saw. Just like that, after a period of time, Lu Ming's body exuded a powerful aura. As he moved forward, he refined the divine herbs. His injuries recovered a little, and his cultivation base was restored to the 6th layer of the King God realm. After recovering to the 6th layer of the King God realm, Lu Ming was even stronger. The dragon beasts here were no match for him. Even the 9th layer of the King God realm dragon god wasn't a match for Lu Ming. However, as they went deeper into the Black Dragon Valley, the pressure between heaven and earth became stronger, suppressing Lu Ming's performance. He was at the 6th layer of the King God realm, but now he was at the 5th layer of the King God realm. The further they went, the greater the pressure. Chapter 3592. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. There was a stalk of divine herb in front of him. It wasn't a fruit and looked no different from a stalk of grass. However, this stalk of grass was emitting a shocking wave of energy. It was definitely a divine herb. What kind of grass is this? I've never seen it before. Lu Ming was surprised. Kid, this is the life origin grass, a rare treasure of heaven and earth. After refining it, it can help awaken the divine origin power factor. Gu Mo's voice came from his sea of consciousness. What? It can help awaken the divine origin power factor? Lu Ming was shocked. That's right. Furthermore, it's not just a first awakening or a second awakening. Even a 4th awakening, a 5th awakening, or even a 6th awakening would be of great help in assimilating the Genesis grass. Gu Mo explained. Lu Ming gasped a breath of cold air. He was then ecstatic. It would be of great help to those who had awakened 4, 5, or even 6 times. That was simply heaven-defying. It was just a divine herb. Generally speaking, the divine origin power factor and the secret arts of the origin needed cultivators to continue comprehending and cultivating. It was difficult for external forces to help. However, the Eldritch universe was vast and boundless. There would always be some rare treasures. These treasures had the ability to steal the fortune of heaven and earth. They could directly help cultivators cultivate the divine origin power factor and the secret arts of the origin, saving a lot of time. For example, the divine force pearl and demonic origin fruit that Lu Ming had encountered before were such treasures. However, the divine force pearl and demonic origin fruit could only help those who had not awakened the secret arts of the origin. Another treasure, the flying demon liquid, could help those who had not awakened the divine origin power factor or those who had awakened it once. The further one went, the worse the effect would be. However, the life origin grass could help those who had awakened their divine origin power factor 4, 5, or 6 times. Such an effect was heaven-defying and priceless. If people knew about it, they would go crazy. Opportunity, this is an opportunity. No wonder all the powerful forces in the Eldritch universe would gather at the dragon race's mother planet. The top 100 races on the Eldritch universe 10,000 races list can't enter. Otherwise, the geniuses of those races would be here too. Lu Ming pondered, his eyes becoming brighter and brighter. During this period of time, on the Dragon Clan's mother planet, it was a good time to harvest opportunities. He could not miss it. Lu Ming took out a jade box and walked over to pluck the Genesis grass and placed it inside. Now was not the time to refine it. He would refine it after he got out. After putting away the Genesis grass, Lu Ming began searching the area again. Roaring like thunder, several powerful dragon beasts appeared and pounced towards Lu Ming. There were 3 dragons in total. Their bodies were as huge as hills, and their auras were terrifying. They were all in the 9th King God layer. Roar! The 3 dragon beasts pounced towards Lu Ming. Come on! Lu Ming clenched his fist in the air, and the tyrant god's spear appeared in his hand. Then, he activated the power of the primordial divine blood, allowing his strength to reach an astonishing level. Bang! Lu Ming took a step forward and shot towards the 3 dragon beasts like a cannonball. He collided with one of the dragon beasts. Boom! With a loud explosion, the dragon beast was sent flying. It slid on the ground for a few thousand meters, and a bloody hole appeared on its body. However, it struggled for a while and stood up again. I failed to kill it instantly. Lu Ming shook his head. His cultivation was in the 6th King God layer, and he had used the primordial divine blood. Logically speaking, it was not difficult for him to kill a dragon beast in the 9th King God layer. However, the pressure here was too strong. Lu Ming was under great pressure, and the dragon beasts were fine. That was why he failed to kill the 3 dragon beasts. However, Lu Ming's strength was obviously at an advantage. Die! Lu Ming continued to stab with the tyrant god's spear. Spear light shot out, and each spear light was extremely sharp. It left bloody holes on the dragon beasts' bodies. In the end, after a dozen moves, the 3 dragons in the 9th King God layer were killed by Lu Ming. After killing the 3 dragon beasts, Lu Ming searched the nearby area and finally found 2 more tufts of source life grass. Together with the previous tuft, there were 3 tufts. Lu Ming continued to move forward. The dragon beasts that appeared in front of him were all in the 9th King God layer. Lu Ming avoided some of the dragon beasts and killed the ones that he could not avoid. It was a pity that Lu Ming did not encounter any treasures like the Genesis grass. However, he found many other divine herbs. Suddenly, Lu Ming stopped and looked in front of him in shock. The area in front of him rippled like water. It was as if a mirror had appeared in front of him, separating the area from the front and back. Separated by the mirror, he could clearly see the scenery behind the mirror. There was a lush forest, and even divine herbs grew there. Lu Ming did not rush forward rashly. He walked along one side and found that the mirror-like space had really separated the area. If he wanted to move forward, he would have to break through the mirror. Lu Ming took out a battle sword and controlled it to fly forward. The battle sword easily passed through the mirror and flew to the other side. It did not look strange at all. Seems like there is no problem. Let's go and have a look. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. He released his divine power and set up several layers of defense around him in case something unexpected happened. Then, Lu Ming stepped forward and rushed toward the mirror. It was as if he had just passed through a layer of water. Lu Ming passed through the mirror and arrived on the other side. However, as soon as he appeared on the other side, Lu Ming felt a terrifying pressure pressing down on him. He was originally in the 6th layer of the Divine King realm, but it felt like he had been suppressed to the 4th layer of the Divine King realm. In the next moment, Lu Ming discovered something new. The divine qi here was extremely dense. It was several times denser than outside the mirror. Every time he breathed, dense divine qi rushed into Lu Ming's body. The space here, Lu Ming looked around and was shocked. Hell here was even wider. At a glance, it was boundless. When he had been on the other side of the mirror, Lu Ming had felt that the Black Dragon Valley was 10,000 li wide. But here it was far more than that. It was at least 100,000 li wide. However, when he had been on the other side, he had not felt it at all. After passing through the mirror, it felt like his territory had expanded by 10 times. Kid, this is the spatial folding technique, Guillemot said. Spatial folding technique. To be able to use spatial folding technique in the ancient desolate universe, this cultivation level, Lu Ming widened his eyes, revealing a look of shock. Spatial folding technique could fold a large territory and turn it into a very small territory. It could be just the size of a palm, but it could contain millions of li of territory. It was extremely mysterious. However, to do this, one had to be extremely strong and have a deep understanding of space. Chapter 3593. In a minor dimension, Lu Ming had seen Bubble use spatial folding technology. But that was only a minor dimension. The space there was fragile and couldn't be compared to the great desolate universe. But even in a minor dimension, Bubble's cultivation base had reached an extremely high realm for it to be able to do it. But in the great desolate universe, space was extremely stable. To use spatial folding was shockingly difficult. Spatial folding wasn't as simple as tearing space. Tearing apart space, any random Divine Lord Realm powerhouse could accomplish it. But space had a restorative property. If you tore space or exploded space, space would quickly recover. And if space was folded, space would quickly recover. But in Black Dragon Valley, space had clearly been folded for a long time, at least dozens of stellar years ago. How many years had it been since then? But the folded space was still preserved. That was terrifying. The existence that could use spatial folding was unimaginably strong. Then, Lu Ming couldn't help but wonder if the revival of the dragon race's mother planet had something to do with this spatial folding. Space had a restorative property. Even if a powerful existence folded space, it would slowly recover over time. Could it be that spatial folding was slowly recovering, causing the divine qi inside to overflow and spread to the dragon race's mother planet, causing it to revive and fill everything with vitality? It was very likely. Although the divine qi of Black Dragon Valley definitely wasn't enough. But the dragon race's mother planet was incomparably huge. Dozens of stellar years ago, how many ruins and cultivation holy lands had been left behind? If those ruins and cultivation holy lands overflowed with divine qi, it was very likely that the dragon race's mother planet would revive. Let's not worry about that for now. The divine qi here is even denser. I reckon it will give birth to even more amazing treasures. Let's look for them. Lu Ming shook his head to get rid of the messy thoughts in his mind. He then started to look around. There's a blood-red gem over there. Suddenly, Lu Ming saw a large stone on the ground in front of him. There was a blood-red gem embedded in the stone. The gem was sparkling and looked extraordinary. Lu Ming didn't hesitate and directly charged over. Once he was near the blood-red crystal, Lu Ming immediately felt a gush of dragon power emanating from the blood-red crystal. Is this a dragon blood stone? Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat, and his eyes lit up. Legend had it that the blood of a powerful dragon could form a dragon blood stone. Of course, as time passed, the essence of the dragon blood stone would slowly dissipate, and it would become an ordinary stone. However, this dragon blood stone seemed to be filled with essence qi. This was definitely no small matter. One had to know that no one had entered the Black Dragon Valley for at least dozens of stellar years. Even after such a long time, the dragon blood stone was still full of essence energy. The divine dragon that had spilled its dragon blood back then was unimaginably powerful. Dig it out. Lu Ming's heart was burning. The value of a dragon blood stone formed from the blood of an incomparably powerful divine dragon was absolutely astonishing. Regardless of whether it was used to refine divine pills or divine weapons, it was a supreme treasure. In particular, Lu Ming had cultivated the primordial divine dragon body. He could even directly absorb and refine the energy within the dragon blood stone. Lu Ming immediately took out a divine artifact battle sword and began to dig. Clang. The divine artifact battle sword slashed at the rocks around the dragon blood stone. Clang. Sparks flew in all directions. This rock was incomparably tough. Lu Ming only managed to cut off a small piece. The objects on the dragon race's mother planet were already extraordinary. The rocks were incomparably tough. However, the rocks around the dragon blood stone were even tougher. Chop chop, I'll chop chop chop. Lu Ming unleashed the battle symbol formula to increase his combat strength by 5 times. He circulated all the divine power in his body. The battle sword buzzed as it continuously slashed at the rocks. Sparks flew in all directions. Small pieces of the rocks were cut off. Slowly, a fist-sized, blood-red, crystal-clear dragon bloodstone appeared in front of Lu Ming. Just then, a roar came from the forest. The roar was like thunder, causing space to explode. Many trees were destroyed, and a massive dragon beast appeared in the forest. A dragon-lion beast. Lu Ming's eyes widened. It was different from the dragon-lion beasts he had encountered before. This one was at least 10 times larger than the ones he had encountered before. Furthermore, its aura was incomparably shocking. It was a first-layer divine lord. Could it be that the dragon beasts behind the mirror are all divine lords? Not good. Lu Ming's heart jumped. In this place, Lu Ming was greatly suppressed. His cultivation level of a 6th-tier king god realm was suppressed to a 4th-tier king god realm. Furthermore, Lu Ming couldn't use his full strength. He had 11 origin secret arts that had severed their shackles. However, he couldn't use them all at once. That was because using so many origin secret arts consumed a lot of divine power. However, Lu Ming's star core was currently covered in cracks. He couldn't use the number character art's divine power. So when Lu Ming had fought before, he had only used the Tyrant God Spear. He hadn't used any other origin secret arts. As a result, with his 4th-layer divine king cultivation base, Lu Ming definitely wasn't a match for a 1st-layer divine lord dragon beast. Quick, quick! Lu Ming increased his speed. His sword turned into a blur as he continuously slashed at the rock. In the end, with a clang, the battle sword broke into 2 pieces. However, at this time, the dragon bloodstone was completely dug out. Lu Ming waved his hand and put away the dragon bloodstone. At this moment, the dragon lion beast had also reached Lu Ming. With a loud roar, circles of sound waves were emitted from its mouth, sweeping toward Lu Ming. At the same time, one of the dragon lion beast's claws swiped at Lu Ming. Its sharp claws were like heavenly blades cutting through the air, emitting a terrifying whistling sound. Without the slightest hesitation, Long Chen condensed an origin secret art, the heavenly profound shield, in front of him. Clang! Boom! The dragon lion beast's attack landed on the heavenly profound shield. The heavenly profound shield shook violently and was sent flying back, crashing into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming let out a muffled groan as he was sent flying like a cannonball, smashing into a large rock. Lu Ming felt as if his bones were about to break. He vomited a mouthful of blood. No, I've been suppressed too miserably. The difference in cultivation base is too great. I can't fight it head-on. Lu Ming got up and crazily rushed back. The dragon lion beast chased after him. In an instant, Lu Ming arrived at the bottom of the mirror and charged out without the slightest hesitation. What made Lu Ming heave a sigh of relief was that when the dragon lion beast chased after him to the side of the mirror, it stopped and did not pursue him. Instead, it roared at Lu Ming through the mirror. Its eyes, which were as big as wash basins, emitted a cold, murderous intent. Following that, another loud roar came from that forest. It was another several divine lord realm existences. That was close. Lu Ming let out a long breath. It seemed that the area behind the mirror was still not a place he could enter. If he wasn't strong enough, it would be extremely dangerous. Chapter 3594. The Black Dragon Valley was even bigger than Lu Ming had imagined. Someone had used a spatial folding technique to fold it into a small valley. Lu Ming had no idea how far he had explored. Evidently, this region was very extraordinary. Oh, right, Autumn Moon was transported from the Lost Star River to the dragon race's home planet. The Lost Star River is the territory of the six-clawed black dragon. This place is called the Black Dragon Valley. Will Autumn Moon be transported here? Thinking of this, Lu Ming's heart began to burn. But then, his heart sank again. If Autumn Moon was really transported here, then there definitely wasn't anything outside. He had already explored this place. Then it would be very dangerous inside. Heaven helps the worthy. I hope Autumn Moon is fine. I'll go ask Feng Zhou and the others if this place has anything to do with the six-clawed black dragon. Lu Ming pondered for a moment. He then left the place in a flash. Not long later, Lu Ming came to a remote place and took out the Dragon Blood Stone. He was impatient to test out the Dragon Blood Stone's effect. He held the Dragon Blood Stone in his hand and sized it up carefully. After confirming that there was no problem, he inhaled and sucked the Dragon Blood Stone into his mouth. As soon as the Dragon Blood Stone entered his mouth, a dragon's roar came out. Tiny blood-colored divine dragons charged toward Lu Ming's body. What powerful energy! An ordinary person would find it hard to refine. But it's me. Primordial divine blood, refine it for me. Lu Ming controlled the primordial divine dragon blood in his heart. The primordial divine dragon blood immediately transformed into a huge divine dragon with 9 claws. It emitted an ancient aura and roared at the sky. An incomparably powerful energy erupted from its mouth. The little dragons formed from the Dragon Bloodstone's energy all flew toward the primordial divine dragon formed from the primordial divine blood. Lu Ming could clearly sense that the energy within the Dragon Bloodstone was constantly being refined. The impurities, impure things, impure wills, and other things were all being refined into pure energy. This refinement took 3 days. 3 days later, the energy of the Dragon Bloodstone had been completely refined. This was because he had the primordial god blood. Otherwise, not to mention 3 days, even 300 years might not be enough to refine a single Dragon Bloodstone. After refining the Dragon Bloodstone, 2 drops of blood appeared in Lu Ming's heart. Primordial divine blood. Lu Ming was ecstatic. This was the primordial divine dragon blood. 1 drop was the original one, while the other drop was a new one. Lu Ming did not expect that after refining a piece of dragon blood stone, he would actually refine out a drop of primeval divine dragon blood. After cultivating the primordial divine body to this stage, the path of cultivation was relatively simple. He just had to continuously condense primordial divine blood. At first, it was 1 drop, then 2 drops, then 3 drops. In the end, all the blood in his body would turn into primordial divine blood. Then he would be done. However, it was extremely difficult to condense the primordial divine blood. Ever since Lu Ming had condensed the first drop, he had not made any progress in condensing the second drop. Now, after refining a piece of dragon blood stone, he had condensed the second drop. However, the second drop of primordial divine blood was very small. It was only 1/5 the size of the first drop. It was not full yet. He would need to continue cultivating to reach the same size as the first drop. However, this was already a significant improvement. After the second drop of primordial divine blood appeared, Lu Ming's power would definitely be stronger than the first drop. The divine dragon that spilled the dragon blood is indeed not to be underestimated. Lu Ming exclaimed. The dragon blood had turned into a dragon bloodstone. After so many years, its essence had not dissipated. On top of that, it was able to condense the primordial divine blood. That divine dragon was definitely terrifying. Moreover, my injuries have healed a little. My cultivation base has recovered to the 7th layer of the King God realm. Lu Ming smiled. During the process of refining the dragon blood stone, a small amount of energy had leaked out. Lu Ming had absorbed the energy and healed Lu Ming's injuries. Lu Ming's cultivation base had also recovered to the 7th layer of the King God realm. It's been a few days. Let's get out of here first. Lu Ming stood up and walked towards Feng Zhou and the others. Soon, Lu Ming saw Feng Zhou and the 3 elders. However, the 4 of them looked anxious. The 4 of them were overjoyed when they saw Lu Ming. Feng Zhou, what's going on? Lu Ming asked directly. He could naturally tell that Feng Zhou and the others were anxious. Brother Lu, not long ago, I received news that the people of Blood Dragon Hall are here again. Feng Zhou quickly said. They're here again. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Before they had entered, Feng Zhou had warned the Black Dragon family that if the people of Blood Dragon Hall were to come again, they should immediately surrender and wait for them to leave. However, the situation outside was unclear. Feng Zhou and the others were naturally worried. However, with their strength, it would be useless even if they left. Hence, they had been waiting for Lu Ming. Now, they could only rely on Lu Ming. Brother Lu, if the Blood Dragon Hall really has a 9th layer King God Realm expert, can you deal with him? If you can't, find a chance to leave. Feng Zhou said. A 9th layer King God Realm expert is fine. Lu Ming smiled. Now that his cultivation base had recovered to the 7th layer of the King God Realm, although he still couldn't use the various origin secret techniques to his heart's content, the other party was a 9th layer King God Realm expert. Moreover, without any external suppression, he could even kill a 1st layer King God Realm expert. What was there to fear from the Blood Dragon Hall? Feng Zhou and the others were overjoyed when they saw Lu Ming's confidence. Now they could only rely on Lu Ming. Otherwise, the Black Dragon family and the Black Dragon Valley would be taken over by others. Without further ado, they immediately rushed out of the Black Dragon Valley. At this moment, the Black Dragon family was surrounded. There were at least a few hundred experts in blood-red armor surrounding the Black Dragon family. The members of the Black Dragon family gathered in an open space. Lords of the Blood Dragon Hall, the Black Dragon family is willing to surrender. An elder from the Black Dragon family said. This was what Feng Zhou had told them before. If they couldn't win, they would surrender immediately to stabilize the situation. Since you're surrendering, hand over the Black Dragon token. Also, many experts of the Blood Dragon Hall died last time. Who killed them? Hand them over. An elder from the Blood Dragon Hall said. His eyes were blood-red and blood-red scales appeared on his skin. He looked ferocious and terrifying. This person was the Hall Master of the Blood Dragon Hall, a 9th layer King God Realm expert. The Black Dragon token is in the hands of our young master. The ones who killed the experts of the Blood Dragon Hall are not from the Black Dragon family. They're currently in the Black Dragon Valley. We've already spread the news. I believe they'll be out soon. The elder from the Black Dragon family said. He didn't hide anything. The most important thing now was to stabilize the situation. I hope you're not lying. I'll give you 1 day. If the person I want isn't here by then, the Black Dragon family can wait to be annihilated. The Hall Master of the Blood Dragon Hall said coldly. Chapter 3595. Time quickly passed, but Pang Zhou, Lu Ming, and the others still hadn't appeared. The atmosphere grew heavier and heavier. It seems that you're lying to me. You're courting death. The Blood Dragon Hall Master's expression was gloomy. His hand was like a dragon claw as he grabbed at the air and caught a disciple of the Black Dragon family. No. Wait. Shouted the elder of the Black Dragon family. Bang. The Blood Dragon Hall's Hall Master clenched his fist and the Black Dragon clan's disciple exploded into a bloody mist. Damn it. Many people from the Black Dragon family roared in their hearts, but they didn't dare to show it. My patience is limited. From now on, I'll kill one person from the Black Dragon family every 10 minutes until the person I'm waiting for appears, said the Blood Dragon Hall Master coldly. Soon, 10 minutes passed, and the people from the Black Dragon family all revealed terrified expressions. Another 10 minutes have passed. Hee, which one should I kill? Sneered the Blood Dragon Hall Master. The blood-red light in his eyes became even denser, filled with icy killing intent. His gaze swept over everyone. Their expressions changed, and they broke out in cold sweat. They were incomparably terrified. "It's you!" In the end, the Blood Dragon Hall Master's gaze landed on a young woman. That woman's face instantly paled, without a trace of blood. The Blood Dragon Hall Master was just about to grab that woman from afar. "If you want to die miserably, you can give it a try." At this moment, a cold voice rang out from the depths of the Black Dragon family. The Blood Dragon Hall's Hall Master and the others turned their gazes to the rear of the Black Dragon family. Over there, 5 people were flying over at an extremely fast speed. These 5 people were Lu Ming, Pang Zhou, and the others. The one who had spoken was also Lu Ming. "Young Master and the others are here." The people from the Black Dragon family rejoiced. They knew that the youth with Pang Zhou was very strong. Perhaps they could be saved. Very soon, Lu Ming and the group arrived in front of them. Bush. At least 20 experts from the Blood Dragon Hall surrounded Lu Ming's group, blocking their path of retreat. 1 9th Layer God King and 6 8th Layer God Kings. Lu Ming sent out his spiritual awareness. With a sweep, he knew the strength of Blood Dragon Hall. This level of strength might be considered very strong on the Dragon Clan's mother planet, but it was nothing in his eyes. Lu Ming and the others arrived before the Blood Dragon Hall's Hall Master and the others. "Who killed the people of my Blood Dragon Hall a few days ago?" The Blood Dragon Hall Master's gaze swept over Lu Ming and the others before finally landing on Lu Ming. This was because he could sense that Lu Ming's cultivation level was at the 7th tier King God realm. The person he had sent was also in the 7th King God realm. Only Lu Ming could kill a 7th King God realm cultivator. "Me," Lu Ming replied indifferently. "Very well. Brat, since you dare to kill the people of my Blood Dragon Hall, there's no need for your Black Dragon family to exist anymore. Hand over the Black Dragon token and I'll leave your corpses intact." The Blood Dragon Hall Master said coldly. "Hee hee." Lu Ming smiled faintly. "Brat, what are you laughing at?" The Blood Dragon Hall Master stared at Lu Ming. "Nothing. I'm just curious to see how you're going to destroy the Black Dragon family." Lu Ming said indifferently. "Oh, Brat, looks like you're very confident. Do you think that you can fight against us with your cultivation of the 7th King God realm?" The Blood Dragon Hall Master sneered as his cultivation of the 9th King God realm erupted. Boom! Blood chi soared into the sky, causing the void to tremble. The aura of the 9th King God realm swept out like endless waves. In Pang Prefecture, the 3 elders' bodies shook violently as they retreated several hundred meters before they could stabilize themselves. Their faces were pale and filled with fear. How terrifying! A 9th King God realm cultivator was too terrifying. It was like a bottomless abyss, unfathomable and impossible to fight against. Facing such an existence, they couldn't even muster the slightest thought of fighting back as they realized that they would be crushed with a single slap from the other party. They couldn't help but feel worried. In the face of such an existence, would Lu Ming be a match for it? Not only them, but the hearts of the Black Dragon family members also sank. Some of them were even trembling. However, Lu Ming stood there like a boulder, unmoving. "You talk too much nonsense," Lu Ming said coldly. "Brat, you're courting death." The Blood Dragon Hall Master snorted as a chilling killing intent erupted from his body. At the same time he moved. He took a step forward and clawed at Lu Ming as if he was a divine dragon hunting for its prey. Strong winds howled as energy surged, enveloping Lu Ming. Boom! There was an explosion in Lu Ming's body. There was a roar and divine power. Then, Lu Ming threw a punch. The punch was aimed directly at the Blood Dragon Hall's Hall Master. "Brat, you dare to take my attack head-on?" The Blood Dragon Hall Master sneered inwardly as if he could already see the scene of Lu Ming's fist being crushed by him. In the next moment, the 2 attacks collided. At this moment, the Blood Dragon Hall Master's expression changed from ferocious to shocked. Boom! With a violent explosion, the Blood Dragon Hall Master's body shook violently as he retreated a few thousand meters. He looked at Lu Ming in shock. CSISI gasps could be heard at the scene. The Blood Dragon Hall Master, a 9th layer Divine King, was actually pushed back by Lu Ming with a single punch. How could Lu Ming's ability be so terrifying? Great! Pang Zhou and the Black Dragon family members were overjoyed. When they saw Lu Ming push back the Blood Dragon Hall Master with a single punch, they were all overjoyed. This time they were saved. Lu Ming glanced at the void as if nothing had happened. He then looked at the Blood Dragon Hall Master and said, "Is that all you're capable of? What a joke." Naturally, Lu Ming had not used his full strength earlier. Otherwise, the Blood Dragon Hall Master would have exploded into a bloody mist. Lu Ming had deliberately concealed his strength. Damn it! The Blood Dragon Hall Master roared in his heart as his expression became even more ferocious. He was a 9th-layer Divine King, but he had been pushed back by a 7th-layer Divine King. This was a great humiliation that he could not tolerate. Attack together and destroy this brat. The Blood Dragon Hall Master roared. Kill! Kill! The experts of the Blood Dragon Hall roared. 6 8th-layer Divine Kings and a dozen 7th-layer Divine Kings unleashed their full strength as they surrounded Lu Ming. The Blood Dragon Hall Master also roared and unleashed his full strength as he charged at Lu Ming. Over 20 experts charged at Lu Ming together. Their aura was shocking. An ordinary person would be frightened to death. However, Lu Ming had seen a lot. This was just a small fight. Lu Ming moved. He avoided the Blood Dragon Hall Master and did not fight him head-on. Instead, he charged toward the others. Bang! Lu Ming threw a punch and defeated a Blood Dragon Hall expert who was at the 7th-tier King God realm. His fist force surged. The Blood Dragon Hall expert screamed miserably and exploded. Chapter 3596. After killing a powerful expert in the 7th-tier King God realm, Lu Ming turned around. His legs were like steel whips as he charged toward another expert in the 7th-tier King God realm. His body exploded immediately. Kill, kill! Lu Ming hollered. He was like a tiger that had entered a flock of sheep, drenched in blood. Every strike of his could kill a powerful figure from the Blood Dragon Hall. It didn't matter if they were at the 8th or 7th level God King. In the blink of an eye, over a dozen Blood Dragon Hall experts had been killed by Lu Ming. Damn it! How can this person be so monstrous? Retreat, retreat, retreat. The remaining people were all panicking, trembling with fear. How could they still dare to fight? They continuously retreated. Don't retreat. Kill him with me. He only has the strength of a 9th-level God King at most, roared the Blood Dragon Hall Master. However, the remaining people didn't dare to fight. If they did, they would all die. They retreated far away from the battlefield. As for the Blood Dragon Hall experts with lower cultivations, they also retreated, not daring to get close to Lu Ming. Your people have retreated. Now you're the only one left. I'll send you on your way, said Lu Ming coldly. Do you think you can kill me? Your divine power is only a bit stronger than mine, roared the Blood Dragon Hall Master. His body was covered in blood-red divine power. Is that so? Lu Ming's indifferent voice rang out. He stepped into the air and charged at the Blood Dragon Hall Master. However, the Blood Dragon Hall Master didn't fight. Instead, he frantically retreated. You want to leave? Stay. Lu Ming's voice rang out. He suddenly sped up and caught up to the Blood Dragon Hall Master in an instant. He punched out. The Blood Dragon Hall Master roared furiously. He took out a blood-red battle sword and slashed out. However, when the blood-red sword and Lu Ming's fist collided, the Blood Dragon Hall Master's body trembled violently and he retreated. You were hiding your strength just now? Roared the Blood Dragon Hall Master. He was incomparably shocked. He felt that Lu Ming was even stronger than before. The corners of Lu Ming's mouth curled up in a cold smile. He had only increased his strength by a little. He hadn't even used his full strength. Kill! Lu Ming shouted coldly as he continued to charge at the Blood Dragon Hall Master. The Blood Dragon Hall Master roared. Since he couldn't escape, he could only fight with everything he had. However, he was no match for Lu Ming. After just a few moves, he coughed up blood and was forced to retreat. I'll send you on your way. Lu Ming's voice was icy cold. His chilling killing intent caused the Blood Dragon Hall Master to shiver. Save me, save me. The Blood Dragon Hall's hall master suddenly roared at an empty space. The hearts of the people from the Black Dragon clan trembled. The leader of the Blood Dragon Hall had asked for help. Could it be that there were other experts? It's useless to ask anyone for help. Lu Ming shouted coldly. His fist energy was like a rainbow as it shot towards the Blood Dragon Hall's hall master. Stop! Suddenly, a loud shout rang out from an empty space. At the same time, a terrifying aura spread out. In the face of this aura, the people from the Black Dragon clan felt as if they were facing an invincible and terrifying existence. Some of the weaker ones directly fell to the ground, their eyes filled with shock and fear. This aura was too terrifying. Even Pang Zhou and the three elders widened their eyes in shock. However, Lu Ming didn't seem to sense this aura. His fist energy continued to attack. This punch directly shattered the Blood Dragon Hall Master's defenses. Before the Blood Dragon Hall Master could rejoice, he screamed miserably as his head exploded. The Blood Dragon Hall Master was dead. At this moment, a figure appeared in the empty space. It was a young man. This man had green skin. He looked at Lu Ming with a cold gaze. "Brat, I told you to stop earlier. Didn't you hear me?" The young man said coldly as he looked at Lu Ming. "I heard you. Sorry, I didn't stop earlier." Lu Ming opened his palm and said casually. At the same time, he glanced at the young man. Before he made his move, Lu Ming had already noticed this young man. However, he didn't say anything. Just now, he didn't use his full strength because he wanted to test the young man. What was he trying to do by hiding in the dark? What was his motive? That was why he didn't use his full strength and kept it as a trump card. Otherwise, if Lu Ming used his full strength, the dozens of experts from the Blood Dragon Hall wouldn't be enough to kill Lu Ming in one move. Now, it seemed like the Blood Dragon Hall was relying on this young man. "You didn't stop? Ha, you're digging your own grave." The young man's eyes were extremely cold. He looked at Lu Ming with an extremely cold, murderous intent. "You're an outsider, right?" Lu Ming suddenly said. What? Everyone at the scene was extremely shocked. An outsider. Now, everyone on the Dragon Clan's mother planet knew that many outsiders had invaded. In ancient legends, the outsiders were all demons who specialized in killing them. Legend had it that in ancient times, the Dragon Clan's mother planet was extremely prosperous. Later on, it was invaded by outsiders. The experts and countless divine dragons on the Dragon Clan's mother planet were all killed. Now that outsiders had invaded, the Dragon-Human clan on the Dragon Clan's mother planet was very sensitive. This young man wasn't from the Dragon-Human clan at all. Therefore, Lu Ming could tell at a glance that he was from the outside like him. "You're quite knowledgeable." "Not bad, I'm an outsider. You natives should submit to me and listen to my orders obediently. Then you can still live. As for you, you'll definitely die." The green-skinned young man looked at Feng Zhou and the others. Finally, he looked at Lu Ming with an even stronger murderous intent. "I could have spared your life if you had turned around and left directly. But now, I have no choice but to keep you alive," Lu Ming said lightly. His main purpose in entering the Dragon Clan's mother planet was to find Xian Yanqing and Autumn Moon. Then, he could obtain some opportunities and cultivate. He would try his best not to offend the experts and forces of the primitive universe. However, if the other party wanted to deal with him, he wouldn't be polite. "What? You want to kill me? Ha, you're just a piece of trash in the 7th layer of the Divine King realm?" The green-skinned young man laughed. Previously, he had been hiding in the dark and observing. He could clearly see Lu Ming's ability. He had to admit that Lu Ming was able to kill a 9th layer of the Divine King realm with his 7th layer of the Divine King realm cultivation base. He was a peerless genius among the natives. However, compared to him, Lu Ming was too weak. He was a divine lord and a peerless genius. With Lu Ming's strength, it would be easy for him to kill Lu Ming. "Do you know what my cultivation base is? I'm a divine lord, someone you should look up to," the green-skinned young man continued. His aura became even more terrifying. It was like a mountain that pressed down on everyone's heart. "Divine Lord. He's a divine lord, a legendary peerless expert in the divine lord realm. The people of the Black Dragon clan were shocked. They looked at the green-skinned young man in horror. Their hearts were in turmoil. Before the Dragon clan's mother planet was revived, the Divine Lord realm was a legendary existence. It was only in ancient legends that someone had reached it. At that time, the strongest person on the Dragon clan's mother planet was only a 9th-layer heavenly god. Even the Divine King realm was a luxury. Chapter 3597. Even now, 100 years after the Dragon clan's mother planet awakened, it was said that the strongest person was only a peak divine king. But this youth in front of them was a divine lord. In their eyes, this was an invincible existence, a terrifying figure that could not be resisted. However, Lu Ming's expression was still very calm. First-level Divine Lord Ha. Lu Ming muttered in his heart. He could already tell that the green-skinned youth's cultivation was first-level Divine Lord. Logically speaking, it should not be. Because those who entered the Dragon clan's mother planet this time were basically all third-level Divine Lord Heaven's prides. For example, Sacred Fire Saber Sect, apart from Lu Ming, those who came were all third-level Divine Lords. Those below third-level Divine Lord were practically the same as Lu Ming, monstrous geniuses with heaven-defying combat strength. And this youth in front of them only had first-level Divine Lord cultivation. Either he was the same as Lu Ming, with heaven-defying combat strength, or he was also injured when entering the Dragon clan's mother planet, and his injuries had not fully recovered now. Lu Ming leaned towards the second point. It seemed that wanting to enter with the 18 weak points was not that easy. Those who entered all paid some price. Like him, they were injured and had not recovered to their peak. Lu Ming had long sensed the other party's cultivation. If the other party was a third-level Divine Lord existence, with Lu Ming's current cultivation, he was definitely not a match. Needless to say, he would definitely turn around and leave. But first-level Divine Lord? He had no fear. I don't care if you're a Divine Lord or a Divine King. Scram now and you can live. Otherwise, the outcome of the Blood Dragon Hall Master will be your outcome. Lu Ming said coolly. It's over. Hearing Lu Ming say so, the Black Dragon family's people's faces turned pale. They no longer had a chance. This Divine Lord would probably annihilate them. In their eyes, although Lu Ming was strong, he was definitely not a match for a Divine Lord. Sure enough, the green-skinned youth's face was incomparably cold, revealing ice-cold killing intent. Staring at Lu Ming, he said, "Ignorant native, I won't kill you. I'll cripple you and make you wish you were dead." Boom. As his voice faded, the green-skinned youth attacked. Green light filled his palm, forming a green sword light that pierced towards Lu Ming's dantian. He wanted to destroy Lu Ming's star core in one move and turn Lu Ming into a cripple. The speed of the green sword light was astonishing, and it emitted a corrosive aura. Poison! Lu Ming frowned, and then he activated the battle character art to increase his battle prowess by 5 times. At the same time, he activated the 1/5 drop of primordial god blood. Immediately, a layer of dragon scales appeared on his body. His fist was also covered by a layer of dragon scales. Of course, this was done intentionally by Lu Ming. He could also hide the dragon scales under his skin and not reveal them. Boom! Lu Ming punched out at the green sword light. "You overestimate yourself." The green-skinned youth sneered, but before he could say anything, his expression changed. Because when Lu Ming's fist collided with the green sword light, there was a loud explosion. Then, the sword light dissipated and disappeared. "This is the strength of a divine monarch? It's nothing much?" Lu Ming said disdainfully. "You were hiding your strength just now?" The green-skinned youth shouted coldly, but he was extremely shocked. Although it was just a casual move, it was enough to kill a 9th-layer divine king. The difference between a divine monarch and a divine king was too big. However, Lu Ming had broken his attack with brute force. It was unbelievable that a man in the 7th heaven of the king god realm possessed such strength. Even in the outside world, there were not many people like him. It seemed like the natives of the dragon race's mother planet had some geniuses as well. Boom! Lu Ming did not bother to talk nonsense, and he charged towards the green-skinned youth. Brat, I was just casually attacking you. Even if you were hiding your strength, you will still die. The green-skinned youth shouted coldly. He released all of his strength. His powerful divine force was filled with an ancient aura. Origin Divine Force Factor, Fourth Awakening. Lu Ming's guess was right. He was originally a third-layer divine monarch. However, when he entered the dragon race's mother planet, he was attacked by the 10,000 dragon seals. Although he was lucky enough to enter the mother planet, he was severely injured. Although he recovered quickly, he was only at the first-layer divine monarch realm. However, although he was only at the first-layer divine monarch realm, his origin divine force factor and various secret techniques were still able to release terrifying power. Killing Lu Ming was just a piece of cake for him. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Green divine force turned into green sword waves, and like a storm, they attacked Lu Ming. The sky was densely packed with green sword waves. Primordial divine blood. Lu Ming's heart moved, and the complete drop of primordial divine blood was activated, causing Lu Ming's strength to surge. Boom, boom, boom. Lu Ming's attack was extremely simple. His fists danced, and the starry sky trembled. Berserk energy destroyed the green sword waves. Following that, Lu Ming rapidly approached the green-skinned youth. A terrifying fist energy crushed toward him. Your divine force. The green-skinned youth was horrified. Lu Ming's power was too terrifying. With just a 7th-layer divine king cultivation base, he was able to destroy his divine force. His divine force was at the divine monarch realm, and he had already awakened his origin divine force factor 4 times. This level of divine force was actually unable to block Lu Ming's attack. It had to be known that he wasn't an ordinary divine monarch, but a heavenly genius. Myriad peak kill. The green-skinned youth roared, his entire body glowing. Then, many poisonous bees the size of a fist appeared, flying toward Lu Ming in a dense swarm. The space around Lu Ming was completely blocked. This was the green-skinned youth's origin divine art. Every single one of these wasps was filled with venom and was extremely powerful. Retreat, retreat. The Black Dragon family's people were all startled. They retreated far away, not daring to stay in the vicinity. Countless wasps flew toward Lu Ming. Boom! Lu Ming punched out. His fist energy swept through the void. One by one, the poisonous bees exploded and turned into green mist. However, after the poisonous wasp turned into a green fog, it rolled and turned back into a poisonous wasp, charging towards Lu Ming. "Ha, you can't destroy my wasps." "That," roared the green-skinned youth. "My cultivation base is still too low." Lu Ming sighed inside. After all, his cultivation base had only recovered to the 7th-layer Divine King realm, while his opponent was at the 1st-layer Divine Lord realm. The difference was too great. The main thing was that his opponent was also a peak heavenly genius. If he was an ordinary 1st-layer Divine Lord, Lu Ming would have already killed him. His cultivation base was too low, and his divine force wasn't strong enough. That was why he couldn't break his opponent's origin divine art. But if his opponent had an origin divine art, did Lu Ming not have one? With a thought, the wind-extinguishing boots appeared. Right now, Lu Ming didn't dare use too many origin divine arts. He could only use 1 or 2 of them. But against the green-skinned youth, the wind-extinguishing boots were the most suitable. The wind-extinguishing boots merged with his feet. Lu Ming's figure flickered, and he charged forward. His body was like a phantom as he dodged the wasps. Chapter 3598. After fusing with the wind-extinguishing boots, Lu Ming seemed to have turned into a gust of wind. His speed increased exponentially and his movements were unpredictable. After images appeared one after another, Lu Ming had already dodged the attacks of the poisonous bees. He quickly closed in on the green-skinned youth and his legs swept out like a steel whip. The air exploded and the energy swept over the youth like a tide. The wind-extinguishing boots could not only increase one's speed, but it also had terrifying destructive power. In addition to Lu Ming's primordial divine blood, this attack was terrifying. The green-skinned youth's expression changed and he shouted. His body emitted a green light and a giant poisonous bee condensed in front of him. It was 100 times bigger than the other poisonous bees. The poisonous stinger on its beak emitted a cold light. It was obviously poisonous. However, Lu Ming was not afraid. He did not stop attacking and directly attacked. There was a loud roar. The air shook and energy swirled. Although the huge poisonous wasp's poisonous stinger pierced Lu Ming's feet, it did not break through Lu Ming's defense. Lu Ming's feet were not only covered with the wind-extinguishing boots but also dragon scales. On the other hand, the poisonous bee exploded. The green-skinned youth's body shook violently and he retreated. Die! Lu Ming shouted and his aura surged. He took a step forward and appeared above the green-skinned youth's head. Then he sent another kick down. Boom! The two of them collided again. The green-skinned youth was no match for Lu Ming. His body was like a meteor as he fell to the ground. However, his body emitted a green light that stopped him when he was close to the ground. Damn it! How can this aboriginal be so strong? The green-skinned youth was frightened. He did not dare to continue fighting and rushed to the side. Lu Ming's strength was beyond his imagination. It was unbelievable that a 7th-layer Divine King Realm cultivator could be so strong. Especially Lu Ming's body. It was like a primordial divine beast. His strength was boundless and he was invincible. Kid, I have not recovered from my injuries. I will spare your life. When I recover, it will be your death. The green-skinned youth roared and rushed forward. He had only recovered to the 1st-layer Divine King Realm. When he recovered to the 3rd-layer Divine King Realm, he could kill Lu Ming with a slap. Did I allow you to leave? Lu Ming said coldly. He took a few steps and caught up with the green-skinned youth. You want to kill me? Although you are stronger than me, you can't kill me. The green-skinned youth shouted. Indeed, Lu Ming's ability was above his and he could suppress him. However, suppressing and killing were two completely different things. He was bent on escaping. Lu Ming could not kill him. Really? However, Lu Ming sneered. Afterward, a bell appeared above Lu Ming's head. Origin of the Origin Secret. The bell of heavenly evildoer rang and an invisible attack enveloped the green-skinned youth. The green-skinned youth's body trembled, and he couldn't help but stop moving. His face turned red. Not good. Soul attack. This kid has 2 origin source secret techniques. The green-skinned youth roared in his heart. He was anxious and wanted to resist with all his strength. But it was too late. A foot enlarged in front of him and hit his face. His soul was affected by the heavenly evil bell. His divine power stopped for a moment. He had no way to defend himself. Bam! Lu Ming kicked the green-skinned youth in the face. The green-skinned youth screamed miserably and his body flew out. Half of his head exploded and he was seriously injured. Run, run, run. The green-skinned youth was not dead yet. He tried to escape. But the heavenly evil bell rang again. He was attacked and felt a stinging pain. His soul was a treasure that could defend against attacks. However, he could not completely block the heavenly evil bell's attack and was greatly affected. No! The green-skinned youth roared in terror. In the next instant, another terrifying attack landed on his head. This time, his head completely exploded, and his soul was destroyed by the berserk energy. The green-skinned youth had fallen. Phew! In the sky, Lu Ming took a deep breath. He quickly dispersed the heavenly evil bell and the wind-extinguishing boots. Controlling 2 origin source secret techniques at the same time consumed too much divine power. Although he controlled 11 kinds of divine power, he was only in the 7th King God realm. He had used 2 origin source secret techniques at the same time. After a few attacks, his divine power was almost exhausted. Fortunately, it was only one person. If there were several people, Lu Ming would not have dared to use them like that. Sigh, I have to recover quickly. I miss the measure character formula. Lu Ming sighed. With the measure character formula, he could store divine power in advance. He was not afraid of exhausting his divine power. Now you know how good I am. You have to suck up to me in the future. In his sea of consciousness, the measure character formula snorted arrogantly. Lu Ming smiled bitterly. At this moment, The people of the Blood Dragon Hall and the Black Dragon family were stunned. They looked at Lu Ming in shock. A terrifying Divine Lord Realm powerhouse was actually killed by Lu Ming in an overbearing manner. Terrifying, too terrifying. At this moment, Lu Ming seemed to have become a god. It was as if he was the reincarnation of a primordial divine dragon. They only reacted after a long while. Especially the people of the Blood Dragon Hall. Their faces were pale and their bodies were trembling. They were afraid that Lu Ming would kill them in a fit of anger. As for running away, they did not dare to do so. Didn't they see that the terrifying divine sovereign expert was killed? Where could they run to? They could only watch in horror and wait for Lu Ming's orders. Senior Lu. At this moment, Feng Zhou flew over and clasped his fists at Lu Ming. He stammered. He thought that Lu Ming should be a senior expert from the Dragon Clan's mother planet. He was not young, but he had a technique to maintain his youthful appearance. Feng Zhou, we are about the same age. Don't call me senior. Lu Ming smiled. About the same age? Feng Zhou was a little confused. He said, Brother Lu, what should we do with the people of the Blood Dragon Hall? Lu Ming's gaze turned to the people of the Blood Dragon Hall. The remaining people of the Blood Dragon Hall trembled and their hearts raced. They knew that the moment that would decide their fate was about to arrive. Why did you all submit to that person just now? Lu Ming asked. He was referring to the green-skinned youth. Not long ago, the other parties suddenly descended. Although we knew that he was an outsider, he was powerful and reached the divine sovereign realm. Our hall master was suppressed by him in one move and could only surrender. An old man of the Blood Dragon Hall mustered up his courage and said, Oh. Lu Ming nodded and said, Follow the Black Dragon family in the future. Work with the Black Dragon family and help me do things. I can spare your lives. Thank you for not killing us. Thank you. Unexpectedly, the people of the Blood Dragon Hall directly surrendered. This was beyond Lu Ming's expectations. He did not expect it to go so smoothly. He thought that the other party would resist. Chapter 3599. Actually, it was normal. That green-skinned youth was an outsider. They had no choice but to submit to him. However, in their eyes, Lu Ming was from the dragon race's mother planet. Moreover, he was so powerful. Submitting to someone from the dragon race's mother planet was better than submitting to an outsider. Therefore, they readily agreed. Next, it was time to clean up the battlefield. Lu Ming did not stay for long. He returned to his room and sat cross-legged. He circulated the universe myriad Tao art. The divine energy in the world gathered crazily and was absorbed by Lu Ming. The divine energy in Lu Ming's star core was quickly replenished. When his divine energy recovered to its peak, Lu Ming ended his cultivation. I wonder how the people outside are doing? Right, let me check the illusory heavenly jade. Thinking of this, Lu Ming took out the illusory heavenly jade and entered the public area of the illusory space. It can be used. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. The illusory heavenly jade was indeed refined by the illusory heavenly palace. It was indeed miraculous. Even the 10,000 dragon seals could not block it. It could still be used. When Lu Ming first arrived, he thought that the illusory heavenly jade could not be used. Therefore, he did not take it out. However, the public area was silent. Only a few people asked about the situation in the dragon race's mother planet. Obviously, these people did not enter the dragon race's mother planet. However, no one answered. No one came out to explain the situation in the dragon race's mother planet. Could it be that not many people entered the dragon race's mother planet and they all died? Lu Ming pondered. However, he immediately shook his head. That was impossible. When he saw the green-skinned youth, Lu Ming knew that it was impossible for everyone who entered to die. Although the green-skinned youth was a genius, his strength was only average. He was born in a race that was not large. Most of the geniuses on the Great Desolate 10,000 Races board were probably stronger than the green-skinned youth. If the green-skinned youth could successfully enter the dragon race's mother planet, then there must be many others who had already entered. However, no one spoke in the public area. Lu Ming guessed that these people deliberately did not speak. There were two reasons for this. Firstly, he had been injured by the 10,000 dragon seals when he had entered, and he hadn't recovered yet. Thus, he didn't want to reveal his location. After all, there were many factions in the Your Wilds universe, and many of them held grudges against each other. If you revealed your location, you might be targeted by others, which would be very dangerous. Therefore, before they recovered from their injuries, no one spoke. The second was to be like Lu Ming and obtain a relic. Being able to obtain a great opportunity in a relic was naturally something that couldn't be said. It would be better to keep it for oneself and slowly enjoy it. Lu Ming speculated that after some time, when everyone had fully recovered from their injuries, this public area would become lively. At that time, Lu Ming would be able to obtain a lot of information from here. Putting away the dream heavenly jade, Lu Ming walked out of the room. At this moment, the battlefield caused by the previous battle had been cleaned up. Brother Lu. Peng Zhou walked over and cupped his fists. Brother Feng Zhou, Lu Ming needs your help with something. Lu Ming said. Brother Lu, please speak. Peng Zhou will do his best. Peng Zhou said, I want to ask the Black Dragon family to help me find 2 people. With that, Lu Ming took out 2 jade talismans and injected his divine power. Immediately, 2 figures emerged. These 2 figures were Autumn Moon and Xian Yanqing. Lu Ming wanted to ask the Black Dragon family to help him find out the whereabouts of Autumn Moon and Xian Yanqing. This was also his purpose of pretending to be a native of the Dragon Clan's mother planet. He could use the natives to find Autumn Moon and Xian Yanqing. The Dragon Clan's mother planet was incomparably huge and boundless. Moreover, the suppression here was very strong, and the flying speed was extremely slow. It was too difficult to rely on his own strength to find them. It was undoubtedly like looking for a needle in a haystack. With the help of the natives of the Dragon Clan's mother planet, it would be much easier to find them. Brother Lu, don't worry. The Black Dragon family will do their best to find them. Peng Zhou nodded. Also, during this period of time, inquire about the surrounding situation and see what happened to the other forces. Lu Ming said. Okay, no problem. Peng Zhou nodded repeatedly. He had been completely conquered by Lu Ming's strength. Moreover, Lu Ming was a native of the Dragon Clan's mother planet. In his opinion, Lu Ming must be a peerless genius of the Dragon Clan's mother planet. Especially when Lu Ming had stimulated the primordial divine blood, he had exuded an ancient dragon aura, which made them admire him even more. After handing the 2 jade talismans to Peng Zhou, Lu Ming returned to his room. He took out a type of divine medicine, swallowed it, and began to refine it. The most important thing now was to restore his cultivation as soon as possible. Only when his cultivation was completely restored would he have enough confidence. In the divine medicine, rich life energy flowed into Lu Ming's body and then into the 11 star nuclei, restoring Lu Ming's star nuclei. After refining the divine medicine, Lu Ming took out another one. In any case, in the Black Dragon Valley, Lu Ming had obtained close to 200 divine medicines. There were enough divine medicines for him to eat. Time passed day by day. Soon 10 days had passed. In 10 days, Lu Ming had refined dozens of divine medicines. With the help of the powerful life energy, Lu Ming's cultivation recovered rapidly. 8th layer Divine King Realm. 9th layer Divine King Realm. Although the recovery would be slower towards the end, in 10 days, Lu Ming's cultivation had recovered to the peak of the 9th layer Divine King Realm. He was just 1 step away from the Divine Lord Realm. The surface of the 11 star nuclei had become smooth again. There were fewer cracks on them, only a few were left. As long as these few cracks were completely repaired, Lu Ming's cultivation would recover to the 1st layer Divine Lord Realm. It's faster than I thought. At most, in another 10 days, I will be able to recover safely. Lu Ming revealed a faint smile. His injuries were very serious, especially when there was a problem with the star nuclei. It was very difficult to recover. However, the cultivation environment of the Dragon Clan's mother planet was too good. Even so, Lu Ming thought that it would take at least 2 years to recover. However, with these divine medicines, Lu Ming could shorten the recovery time to a month. This was very heaven-defying. Of course, the last step of the recovery was also the most difficult. Lu Ming estimated that it would take around 10 days. He took out another divine medicine and continued refining it. At this moment, two figures were rushing towards the Black Dragon clan at an extremely fast speed. They were two young men with arrogance in their eyes. They were wearing fiery red armor. Flames were burning on the armor and the temperature was shocking. The air was sizzling due to the heat. We're almost at the Black Dragon clan. The Black Dragon clan also controls a relic called the Black Dragon Valley. It's an ownerless place. Hehe, the Fire Centipede clan must control the Black Dragon Valley. The relic on the Dragon clan's mother planet is really amazing. Divine medicines are everywhere and there are countless opportunities. Cultivating here is 100 times faster than cultivating in the sacred place of our Fire Centipede clan. The Dragon clan's mother planet was born at the beginning of the world. It has been sealed for so many years. Once it awakens, of course it will be amazing. The two young men chatted. Chapter 3600. The two young men from the Fire Centipede race chatted as they flew. Soon, they arrived at the Black Dragon family's territory. Who goes there? Stop right there. With a loud shout, several figures appeared and blocked the two young men from the Fire Centipede race. These figures were from the Blood Dragon Hall. The Blood Dragon Hall had been subdued by Lu Ming and cooperated with the Black Dragon family. Some of the experts from the Blood Dragon Hall were guarding the Black Dragon family's territory. When they saw the young men from the Fire Centipede race, they stopped them. Are you from the Black Dragon family? One of the young men from the Fire Centipede race asked. You can say that. One of the men from the Blood Dragon Hall replied. Very well. Go back and tell the Black Dragon family to hand over the Black Dragon Valley and surrender. They will work for the Fire Centipede race. That way, the Black Dragon family can live. One of the young men from the Fire Centipede race said coldly. Otherwise, all of you will die. The other young man from the Fire Centipede race added. With that, the two young men from the Fire Centipede race emitted a shocking aura. The aura was like the might of the heavens, causing the faces of the experts from the Blood Dragon Hall to change drastically. They retreated and spat out blood. Divine Lord Realm. The people from the Blood Dragon Hall were shocked. Go back and tell them. One of the young men from the Fire Centipede race waved his hand casually. Let's go. The men from the Blood Dragon Hall quickly retreated and returned to the Black Dragon family. I heard that the Black Dragon family is only a small faction. The strongest person there is only at the 5th layer of the Divine King realm. This trip will be easy. Not bad. This place is not occupied by anyone. Our Fire Centipede race is lucky. After taking the Black Dragon Valley, we will have 2 ruins to explore. The two young men from the Fire Centipede race chatted casually as they continued forward. Soon, they arrived above the Black Dragon family. At this moment, the Black Dragon family was already crowded with experts. They stared warily at the two young men from the Fire Centipede race. What are they trying to do? Are they trying to resist? One of the young men from the Fire Centipede race was stunned. If they want to die, I don't mind sending them on their way. Another young man from the Fire Centipede race said coldly as a cold light flashed in his eyes. Below, Lu Ming was sizing up the two young men from the Fire Centipede clan. Previously, when he was cultivating, he received news from Peng Prefecture that someone had come to kill him. Lu Ming had no choice but to end his seclusion. Now, the Black Dragon Valley was regarded by Lu Ming as his own treasured land. How could he give it to others? Anyone who wanted the Black Dragon Valley was his enemy. 2nd level Divine Monarch. Lu Ming swept with his spiritual sense and discovered that these two young men had 2nd level Divine Lord cultivation. This is a little tricky. Lu Ming frowned. Even though he had managed to recover his cultivation to the 9th layer of the God King realm, making him significantly stronger than when he had fought with the green-skinned young man, he was still unable to withstand the pressure. But Divine Lord Realm, the disparity between each level was also very great. A 2nd layer King God Realm expert could easily kill a 1st layer King God Realm expert. If it were an ordinary 2nd King God Realm warrior, Lu Ming didn't need to worry about him. With his current competence, he could kill him easily. However, none of the people who were able to come here were ordinary people. They were all geniuses of various major forces. This was especially true for the geniuses on the primordial 10,000 races roll. They were probably even stronger. The only thing he didn't know was which clan they were from. Boom, boom. The two young men from the fire centipede race released their auras impolitely. The aura of a second-layer divine lord filled the sky above the black dragon family, filling the area with a terrifying pressure. The people from the Black Dragon family and the Blood Dragon Hall seemed to be carrying a huge mountain on their backs. They're even stronger than the green-skinned young man. They're outsiders. Feng Zhou and the others had ugly expressions. They could easily sense that these two young men were even stronger than the green-skinned young man from 10 days ago. Would Lu Ming be able to fight the other party? Hand over the Black Dragon Valley or die. One of the young men from the fire centipede race shouted coldly. His killing intent was so cold that it made people's expressions change. Feng Zhou and the others fell silent and looked at Lu Ming. They could only leave it to Lu Ming to deal with such an enemy. There was nothing they could do. You're outsiders, right? Which clan are you from? Lu Ming asked. He wanted to find out where they were from first. You're just an aboriginal. Even if I tell you, you won't know. One of the young men from the fire centipede race glanced at Lu Ming. Tell me about it. I've seen an introduction to the alien races in an ancient book. Lu Ming said. Since you want to hear it, I'll tell you. We're from the fire centipede race, a powerful clan on the primitive 10,000 races list. We're one of the top clans in the entire primitive universe. Do you understand? One of the young men from the fire centipede race said coldly with a proud face. So you're from the fire centipede race. You're ranked 10,000 on the primitive 10,000 races list. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Lu Ming had seen the introduction of all the clans on the primitive 10,000 races list in the dreamy divine jade. Once the other party said it, he understood. So you're from the fire centipede race. I've seen it in an ancient book before. It was only after my dragon race was destroyed that you had the chance to climb up. Otherwise, you wouldn't be qualified to be on the primitive 10,000 races list. Lu Ming said with a smile. Indeed, the fire centipede race wasn't qualified to be on the primitive 10,000 races list when the dragon race was at their peak. After the dragon race was destroyed and their strength weakened, they were removed from the primitive 10,000 races list. Only then did the fire centipede race have the chance to climb up. Kid, you're courting death. One of the young men from the fire centipede race shouted coldly, emitting a cold killing intent. The fire centipede race had always been proud of being on the primitive 10,000 races list. They hated it when people said that they had climbed up the ranks. Now, a native dared to say that. Boom. One of the young men from the fire centipede race stepped out. Flames filled the sky and the temperature in the air rose rapidly. A terrifying wisp of flames spread out and rushed toward Lu Ming and the other members of the Black Dragon family. He wanted to burn them all into ashes. Lu Ming soared into the sky and threw out a punch. His fist energy broke through the air and extinguished the wisp of flames. 9th layer Divine King Realm. The two young men from the fire centipede race were stunned. They had heard that the strongest person in the Black Dragon family was only a 5th layer Divine King Realm cultivator. They had never thought that there would be a 9th layer Divine King Realm cultivator. However, the two of them soon smiled maliciously. So what if he was a 9th layer Divine King Realm cultivator? In their eyes, he was an existence that they could kill with a slap. Cadet. The young man from the fire centipede race who had attacked previously shouted coldly. He threw a slap at Lu Ming. His palm was covered in purple flames and the temperature was even higher. This terrifying flame could burn an ordinary 9th layer Divine King Realm cultivator to death. That's not enough. Lu Ming shouted and activated the battle character's secret art. His fighting strength increased by 5 times. His divine force erupted and at the same time, he activated the power of the primitive divine blood and threw a punch at his opponent. Lu Ming did not use his origin secret technique. He had used his full strength in this attack. He wanted to kill the other party with a thunderous strike when the other party looked down on him. Watch out. The other young man from the fire centipede race sensed the terrifying power of Lu Ming's punch. He roared in anger and rushed toward Lu Ming crazily. Chapter 3601. The other prodigy of the fire centipede race sensed Lu Ming's explosive power and roared in anger. He charged at Lu Ming. As he charged, his body expanded rapidly and finally turned into a giant centipede that was over 1,000 meters long. The centipede was covered in flames and surrounded by ferocious flaming claws. After turning into a centipede, the flaming claws around him flew out like flaming sabers and slashed at Lu Ming at an astonishing speed. Lu Ming furrowed his brows and punched out continuously with both fists. Streams of fist force burst forth, charging forward and colliding with the flaming sharp claws. Boom! Boom! A series of explosions sounded. The young man from the fire centipede race reacted and roared. A violent power burst out and charged at Lu Ming, colliding with Lu Ming's fist energy. Lu Ming's body floated backward. Damn it, this kid hid his strength. The young man from the fire centipede race shouted coldly. He was really scared. He had underestimated Lin Fan and did not expect him to be so strong. If the other prodigy of the fire centipede race had not intervened in time, he might have been killed by Lin Fan. Under the lingering fear, there was anger, boundless anger. Kid, I'm going to tear you apart. The prodigy of the fire centipede race roared, and his body began to transform into a giant flaming centipede. This was not a secret physique technique but their true bodies. Two flaming centipedes wriggled their bodies and emitted shocking flames as they charged at Lu Ming. Their sharp claws turned into sabers and slashed at Lu Ming, making a terrifying whistling sound. Come on! Lu Ming grasped the void and the Overlord Spear appeared. The Overlord Spear was naturally more suitable to deal with two prodigies of the fire centipede race. This was because the fire centipede race was the type with thick skin and strong defense. It required a powerful origin source secret technique. Bush. The Overlord Spear vibrated and shot out spear lights at the flaming claws. Lu Ming waved the Overlord Spear and knocked away the claws as he charged at one of the flaming centipedes. Kill! One of the flame centipedes roared. Its body glowed like metal, and its entire body seemed to transform into a fiery red saber as it slashed down at Lu Ming. This move contained his opponent's origin secret art. Lu Ming could clearly see that the other party's origin secret technique was a wisp of heat that fused with the other party's body. Its power was astonishing. Unending river of spear Dao. Lu Ming brandished his spear, and a long river of spear Dao appeared, colliding with his opponent's body. Boom! Boom! Explosions rang out continuously as the two sides clashed. In the end, there was a loud explosion. Lu Ming and the flame centipede both retreated over 100 li. What astonishing power! What a powerful fire crow! Lu Ming narrowed his eyes slightly. Speaking of which, this was the second time he had fought against a race on the primitive 10,000 races roll. The first time, it was a few prodigies from the Wu people. However, the Wu people's strange means of attacking the soul happened to be countered by Lu Ming's evil bell, so they couldn't show their strength. Now, it was the second time Lu Ming had fought against a prodigy from a race on the primitive 10,000 races roll. He finally realized how powerful these races were. The other party's power was astonishing, far surpassing that of ordinary races. The prodigy of the Sacred Fire Saber sect was definitely no match for the prodigy of the Fire Centipede race. The more powerful the race, the more outstanding the bloodline, and the more powerful and talented they were. This was because these races were closer to the primitive divine spirits. Especially the races that were ranked at the top of the primitive 10,000 races roll, they were even more terrifying. For example, some 8-winged angels and 10-winged angels in the angel race were born with amazing talents. Their bloodline was powerful and they grew rapidly. Their talents were far beyond that of other races, and their combat strength was astonishing. This was something that the Dragon Clan also had. For example, the 7-clawed Divine Dragon and the 8-clawed Divine Dragon were born with amazing talents, not to mention the 9-clawed Dragon. They were almost invincible in a battle of the same level. Some prodigies of other races even had divine power at birth, and it was divine power that had awakened the divine power origin factor. They also had Origin's secret arts at birth. How could they compare? This was the power of a race's talent. Although the two young men from the fire centipede race in front of him weren't that powerful, they were still much stronger than ordinary races. Of course, it didn't mean that ordinary races couldn't be compared to these powerful races. Ordinary races could also give birth to some monstrous prodigies. In history, there had been records of ordinary races rising against the natural order and even trampling on the strongest prodigies of the top 10 races. Of course, such monstrous prodigies were very rare. In terms of overall strength and overall prodigies of a race, the stronger races were still more powerful. Lu Ming was shocked, and the two prodigies of the fire centipede race were even more shocked. Lu Ming was only a 9th-level divine king, but he could fight against them. It was too terrifying. Is this the divine dragon race? They've been annihilated, and only a few remnants can give birth to such a monstrous prodigy. No wonder they were one of the top 5 races back then. The two prodigies of the fire centipede race had this thought. However, it was quickly replaced by killing intent. The divine dragon race had been annihilated, so what if they gave birth to a monstrous prodigy? They would just kill him. The two huge centipedes transformed into two battle sabers and slashed toward Lu Ming with a whistling sound. It seems like it's not easy to deal with just one Origin's secret art. I'll use more then. Lu Ming's heart stirred and the heavenly evil bell condensed. Ding-ling-ling. The wicked bell rang, attacking the other party's soul. Soul attack. Be careful. The two fire centipedes shouted, but their bodies still trembled after being attacked. Lu Ming took the opportunity to attack. The Overlord God's spear stabbed toward the eyes of one of the fire centipedes. That was the other party's weakness, and its defense was weak. However, just as the Overlord God's spear was about to pierce its eyes, the fire centipede roared and twisted its body, narrowly avoiding the attack. With a clang, the Overlord God's spear pierced the shell of the fire centipede's head. The fire centipede was sent flying, and its shell caved in. A trace of blood seeped out, but it was fine. To be able to react so quickly, it seems like the other party has a soul-protecting treasure, and it's extremely powerful. Lu Ming frowned. The prodigies of the primitive 10,000 races board could not be underestimated. Obviously, Lu Ming had a powerful soul defense treasure, which was why he could react so quickly and resist the soul attack. This was normal. The primitive 10,000 races board was so powerful that it was normal for them to have powerful soul defense treasures. One had to know that the Wu people on the primitive 10,000 races board specialized in dealing with souls. If the other races did not have any defensive treasures, wouldn't they be at the mercy of the Wu people? Kill! Kill this bastard! The two fire centipedes roared and pounced toward Lu Ming, launching a violent attack. Lunar Moon. Lu Ming moved his mind, and the lunar moon appeared, scattering rays of extremely cold light. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.